Hello students, welcome to the study of Standard 10 Science and Technology Part 1 Chapter 3 Chemical Reactions and Equations. Students, in the last video you had seen redox reactions. Now we have come to the end of this chapter, and in this video we will discuss the last topic of this chapter, that is rancidity and corrosion. So first let us see what is rancidity. Rancidity is a very general term, and in its most general meaning it refers to the spoilage of food in such a way that it becomes unpleasant, undesirable, unsafe for consumption. It is characterized by an unpleasant smell and taste. The term rancid particularly applies to oils and fats. When food scientists talk about rancidity, they are often talking about a specific type of rancidity involving oxygen damage to foods. And this type of rancidity is called oxidative rancidity. Oxidation of fats is caused by a biochemical reaction between fats and oxygen. In this process, the long chain fatty acids are degraded and short chain compounds are formed. One of the reaction products is butyric acid, which causes the typical rancid taste. Now let us see what are the factors that cause rancidity. The various factors that promote rancidity are: first, temperature. Rancidity rate increases with increase in temperature. Second, duration. For the more time you keep a thing unattended or without using it, it has more chances to turn rancid. Third, oxygen. Oxygen promotes the decomposition of food. Fourth, light. In the presence of oxygen, light promotes the decomposition of unsaturated fatty acids. Fifth, microorganisms and fungi. They are the most common reason for the food to become rancid. They use their enzymes on the food material and destroy its chemical composition. Sixth, moisture. Moist air helps the microbes in their activity upon the food material. Seventh, trace elements. Trace elements like iron and zinc also increases the rate of rancidity. Here are some food items that are likely to turn rancid. Now children, how will you prevent rancidity? Let us discuss some preventive measures to reduce or stop the effect of rancidity. First, by adding inert gases. Inert gases can be added to the packet or the container, like nitrogen, which does not react with oxygen. Example, chips packets are flushed with nitrogen gas so that they do not become rancid. Second, by adding antioxidants. Antioxidants like BHA and BHT are added to some foods to slow down or eliminate oxidative deterioration. BHA means butylated hydroxyanisole and BHT means butylated hydroxytoluene. Third, refrigeration. Refrigerators reduce the temperature and hence don't allow the microbes to continue their processes. Fourth, vacuum packaging. Vacuum packaging is done to keep oxygen out. Fifth, by using oxygen scavengers. Oxygen scavengers or oxygen absorbers are added to enclosed packaging to help remove or decrease the level of oxygen in the package. They are used to help maintain product safety and extend shelf life. Sixth, by keeping food in airtight containers. Less air too prevents rancidity. Seventh, by storing food in dark place. So, these were the preventive measures by which you can reduce the effect of rancidity. Now, what are the harmful effects of consuming rancid food? Consuming rancid food products is unlikely to cause immediate illness or harm. Rancidification can reduce the nutritional value of food. In addition, rancidification can produce potentially toxic compounds associated with long-term harmful health effects concerning advanced aging and neurological disorders. Rancid fats have also been implicated in increased rates of heart disease and are carcinogenic, that is, cancer causing. So, we have seen rancidity, that is due to the oxidation of food. So, this is how oxidation plays a role in our day-to-day life. Now, children, let us understand corrosion. What is meant by corrosion? To understand this, let us perform an activity. To perform this activity, we require 4 test tubes, 4 small iron nails, etc. The chemicals required are anhydrous calcium chloride, oil, boiled water, and salt water. Let us begin this activity. Let us take 4 test tubes. Take some boiled water in one test tube and put an oil layer on it. Take some salt water in the second test tube. Let there be only air in the third test tube. In the fourth test tube, take some anhydrous calcium chloride. Now in each test tube, let us place a small iron nail. Close the fourth test tube with a rubber cork. Keep all the 4 test tubes unattended for a few days. After a few days, observe the 4 test tubes. What do you observe? The iron nail in the first and the fourth test tube remained as before, while the nail in the second and third test tube was rusted. What would be the reason behind this? For the process of rusting, both air and water are necessary. The rusting process takes place rapidly in the presence of salt. In the first test tube, boiled water has no oxygen and oil stops new oxygen from entering. Due to this, the iron nail does not undergo any reaction with the moisture of the air. The result is that the iron nail does not rust. In the fourth test tube, the anhydrous calcium chloride absorbs the moisture present in the air. Due to this, the test tube remains dry and the iron nail does not rust. While in the second and third test tubes, the nails come in contact with air and moisture and become rusted. In our everyday life also, we come across effects of redox reactions. 2-wheelers or 4-wheelers look shiny when they are new. But when these vehicles become old, a certain type of reddish colored solid layer collects on their metallic surface. This layer is called rust. Its chemical formula is Fe2O3.H2O. Rusting of iron is an oxidation process. The rust in iron does not form by a simple reaction of oxygen and the surface of iron. This rust is formed by an electrochemical reaction. Here, different parts of the iron surface form the anode and the cathode. In the anode region of the surface of iron, Fe undergoes oxidation to form Fe2 plus ions, and in the cathode region, oxygen is reduced to form water molecule. Fe2 plus further gets oxidized to form Fe3 plus ions. These Fe3 plus ions form a reddish colored hydrated oxide. This oxide collects on the surface and is called rust. Various components of the atmosphere cause the oxidation of metals and this results in their damage. This is called corrosion. When iron rusts, a reddish colored layer collects on it. This is corrosion of iron. Corrosion is a very serious problem. Every year, A lot of money is wasted to replace rusted articles on a large scale. Corrosion damages automobiles, bridges, iron ladders, ships, and iron meshes used in buildings and other articles made of iron. To prevent corrosion, anti-rust solutions can be used. Corrosion can be prevented by applying a layer of oil, paint, a thin layer of zinc, or by the process of electroplating. In the same way, silver utensils become black while brass vessels become greenish. If blackened utensils are rubbed with tamarind or lemon juice, the acid present in them dissolves the basic oxide layer formed and the utensils become clean. Utensils also regain their shine. When oil and ghee react with oxygen, they undergo oxidation. This is called rancidity. We have already learnt about it. So children, we have come to the end of this chapter. I hope you all enjoyed our voyage through chemical reactions and equations. Now students, an exercise is given at the end of this chapter. Complete the exercise. I am sending you the answers to the questions asked in the exercise of this chapter. So this weekend, keep revising this chapter and also revise periodic classification of elements and gravitation, because very soon you will be having a unit test. The portion for the unit test is the first two chapters, chapter 1 gravitation and chapter 2 periodic classification of elements. So stay at home, stay safe and enjoy studying. Thank you.